as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. It's a
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and we're starting off this week talking about the United Nationalities of Marbella Summit 2020, which didn't happen last Tuesday, the 27th of October, because we just happened to all go to the Harbour Restaurant in the Marbella Marina for lunch. It was a wonderful coincidence that 50 really emblematic members of our busy charity-minded community got together, and hosting it, introducing her, the best MC ever, Georgina Shaw. Welcome back to the programme.
Thank you, Nicole.
And firstly, Georgina, I can't thank you enough because you did an amazing job. All those charities, all those people speaking, and you trundled them through. We were so on time to
very organised,
to your schedule.
We were. No, you're very welcome. It was always a pleasure to be involved with the event. And we make a great team. We've always said it. And I think we definitely showed it this year. I think everybody's really happy with the results.
It was an outstanding success, I have to say, apart from, which is worth mentioning, the exceptional food, service, venue of the harbour. I can't thank Mark, Penny and all the team enough because they gave their hearts.
They looked after us so well.
So well.
It's not easy with a big group.
The food was exceptional. 50 people fed in 45 minutes. Everything was exquisite. So the feedback of that has been amazing. But also of the topics chosen and the interest of everybody following up since, wanting to get involved, wanting to take everything forward.
Absolutely. I thought that what, for me, set this one apart from others was because I think there were hand-picked people that were really active in the community. There was much more obvious synergies and much more, I think, practical steps to take following on from it. And we've always said when we've done these things, you know, you are the consummate networker, the connector of people, bringing people together. And I felt that this really, really worked. And I've had lots of people asking, please put me in touch with this person. I want to do that thing. And everyone just being really in the spirit of working together and being #BetterTogether.
Undoubtedly. And the nice thing is, because it keeps coming back to making this central platform, because people can't cope. So, for example, a lot of charities contact all the schools, but the schools don't have a department for looking after charities and involving things. And I think that's why perhaps making this central platform for communication with the United Nationalities is being so well received, as well as the incentive to do an inter-school challenge to support the charities that are so needing now, with older people perhaps not being as visible, more cautious how they spend their time, not volunteering in charity shops, and the kids can really cover this for the charity benefit and for their own.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such an important time for charities to really step up. COVID has hit the vulnerable so hard. And as you say, the people that maybe traditionally would have been more active in the charities now can't as much because they're shielding or they're more vulnerable. And so absolutely, I think you've perfectly identified that niche where the students can step up, have really valuable experience, but also feel like they're doing something great and connect with their community in a whole different way. So it was very exciting to present the challenge.
And it was exciting to see such a great feedback from Marianne, who is the new president of the Marbella International University Centre, who is there representing our university, wonderful universities that we have here in Marbella, and obviously Chris Long, who is the principal of the English International College, been very active with the United Nationalities of Marbella for a couple of years, and he is actually team captain for this section. So we're talking about having a inter-school charity challenge. Let's perhaps hear it in your words, Georgina, how you see this going.
Well, I think it was your lovely idea, and then, you know, as we do, I try and then distill that down to the fundamentals. So the fundamentals that I see is we have we got at the event 10 charities, 9 charities, but there are many more. And then we have all of these schools, international and Spanish, who are looking to do charity work. So the idea with this challenge is we pair the school with the charity, so one for a designated amount of time, and then they decide how they're going to help them the maximum that they can, with the idea that there's going to be some friendly competition against the other schools, that at the end of that plan, when we can measure them, how many social media followers more do they have since they started, how many funds, how many donations, how many events, how much awareness, we can kind of judge them against a few different criteria like that, and then we can crown the most charitable school or the most charitable schools, because I foresee there'll be lots of fantastic things done.
I think that it is something that not only will enrich them personally and socially, but I see the charities benefiting, getting that young blood involved.
I know, so many different ideas.
Selling online,
and,
I mean, just, being able to go to the charity shops, and even if closed down in a COVID situation, still being able to do sales online and getting that income. So obviously a great challenge for our youth. We're going to go now to the event. Thank you to Pablo Martinez for doing an amazing recording, and we're going to listen to what Chris Long, Principal of English International College, had to say regarding this student charity challenge.
It's a brand new day.
Side of their bubble. And that's always very difficult in every single school. It's a challenge everywhere, and it's a challenge here as well, because we know there is a certain level of privilege, there's a certain level of isolation, I suppose, that a lot of the schools and a lot of the students kind of survive and work in. And therefore making those links, understanding that there are real problems in every single part of the environment and every single part of the local community is absolutely important. We want our children to go away with the best qualifications and the best experience, but also understand where they are and get a relationship with their local community and the local people. And that is something that we are very, very keen on at EIC, but I know, having spoken to other schools as well, that they are equally keen to make links with you and develop their skill set, to understand, to develop empathy. Environmental understanding is at the heart of so many school curriculums, so it's great to hear about the different schemes that cover that one as well. But also just to understand the conditions and the poverty that also exists in Marbella and the local Costa del Sol environment. Because again, it's so difficult with students that do live in urbanizations, that do get the bus into school, and this is every single school, and then get transported back, get picked up by chauffeurs or dropped off. It's a very, very different environment and different world for some of our students living to understand what's going on. So making links with charities, developing skills, talking to other people, talking to older people, talking to younger people, talking to families, that's what we're very, very keen to encourage. And our experiences, EIC's experiences, and the students that have worked with some of you have been incredible. It's changed their perspective on what they may want to study, what they feel about school and community, environment and society. So it's very, very important for us that those links are developed. I would just echo what's been already said. And to be brutal, one of the frustrations has been a little bit of just the amount of charities that are out there and being able to access them. And it has been a frustration as a school because I think, as Tom said earlier, there needs to be more centralized approach to this. We need to understand how we can tap into the charities and how we can tap into some of the organizations that exist. And that today, I hope, facilitates that, because we need that. We need that to be easier so that we can send our students to that charity and talk to those representatives and work on the environment and work on some of those important schemes and themes of environmentalism and sustainability. So if an outcome of today is that we are all closer and we've shared information and we have a central platform for schools and every schools to tap into and work in, that would help my job and every single principal and head job along the coast. How can we help do that a little bit? The idea of a school sort of working closely with the charity, I think, is a strong one. We already work with a range of charities, and I've even met with a couple of the charities in here about internally how we're going to do that this year. We have a house system, so each house is going to represent one charity, and that's for us internally. But looking beyond that, and I think there is a feeling at the moment amongst the schools along the coast that we are obviously in competition, but there are certain things, be it well-being, be it the environment, being charities, that we have to be on the same page. And I kind of feel that that is a growing momentum and a growing mindset amongst the heads along the coast to think, right, okay, we have to be together on certain things. And COVID is also another one. So taking that forward, the idea, and I think it's a strong idea, of each school kind of representing a charity and kind of working together in a friendly, competitive way to see how far we can push the profile of that charity is one that I think is really exciting. There could be lots of ways that we could take this. Obviously, each school could represent that, and donations and events and activities could be raising money and awareness for that charity. But also, again, from a school's perspective, it's quite exciting the fact that the students could perhaps get involved in helping market your particular charity. Their IT skills, their computing skills is great. And we can give you access to those students and say, right, there's some real talent here, there's some marketing talent, there's some advertising talent that we think would be mutually beneficial in terms of raising the profile of your charities. And also, they would be able to work and have something on their CVs and actually have something tangible that would come out of their collaboration with you. So I am very keen to help facilitate and coordinate that in here as well, but also amongst other schools, which I'm going to be coincidentally meeting with tomorrow and on the agenda.
When I'm the designated driver, I think it's only fair that I get to choose a zero-hero venue that rewards me with free soft drinks. My friends all get to choose and booze, and they feel safe going home with me. Make sure that you get your reward for being the designated driver. Why pay if you don't have to?
Judy likes to consider herself a clever young woman, which is why she thought very carefully before choosing her insurance company. Now that she needs it, she's jolly glad she chose Linear Director, as it looks as if she might have something better to do. Why don't you be clever, like Judy? Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 and see which policy is best for you.
Hero, welcome to the playwright.
Hello guys, welcome to Harbor. All the designated drivers are welcome here to the Harbor. And we are very proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
G-Wine is happy to be Zero Hero partner.
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody. Nobody drives drinking. Everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
Well, we've just heard from Chris Long. He is, as I say, the principal of the English International College of Marbella and very involved with the community in the United Nationalities Marbella Summit. In fact, he's team captain. Georgina's team captain of organisation and presenting events. The charities that we're going to hear from in just a moment, the first charities, I've left sustainability, and we'll talk about it a bit further on. But the others, Carruthers, the food ferries, we've got Age Concern, we've got Collective Calling, who are doing so much, feeding so many desperate families. I mean, there are so many charities that are out there. Yeah. They seemed very eager to embrace this idea as well. That was really nice.
I agree. And I think, you know, we've always said that there are so many great people doing great things on this coast. A big issue is the coordination of those great people and great things. And I think that there has been some lack of interest in the coordination up until now. But I felt there was a real step change in this event where people went, actually, you know what? I really need to stop fighting against people and actually work with them and work toward the same goal, because a lot of them, and you mentioned collective calling and food fairies, a lot of the goals are the same. You know, they are looking to feed vulnerable people, they're looking to pick up from where the state perhaps can't support people that aren't properly registered. The very sad fact is that people need food banks more and more, and the sort of state-funded and the general food banks just can't cover it. So they're doing wonderful work, and I think that they've been overlapping, and so I do hope that they work together on things. And
it's funny though, because there seems to be, there is a lot of overlapping, because even if you think of age concern, collective calling, for example, did a lot to feed some of the elderly.
Right.
When really there is a lot of overlapping that we don't realize unless we get together and talk about it, because as you say, the goals are the same. Frequently is to keep people fed, make sure they're connected, and as opposed to fearing others, if we can look to others, as you say, for that support. What am I not covering? What is causing me a challenge that perhaps somebody else is already handling?
Absolutely. I mean, we can't do it all. You know, nobody is an island, and these little charities have huge mountains to climb. They really do. Most of them will have full-time jobs or be retired, so they're not, you know, focusing on this for their full-time work. And so I think absolutely it was lovely to see Tom, I loved, standing up and saying, let's all get together and let's make a committee. And he's really desperate to give me all the emails and let's start talking. And I just thought, well, that's, if nothing else comes out of the event, what a brilliant result.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you have to laugh. Sometimes we think that it's an age concern thing, because Tom is actually the team representative for the elderly and keeping that group. So we all get connected in the sense of there is so much overlapping that it's no, we're wasting so many resources by not talking together. So by having what we need from the elderly, and then having the team captain for the vulnerables and the team captain for sustainability, in the sense of by all making sure that we know the main things are going on, there'll be the support for other people's events. And I think actually it's not just overlapping, but there's people share and want everybody to share their information.
Absolutely.
And I think very few people make a commitment to also share other people's information, even if it's not directly benefiting them. And this is where I think a big letdown in our community, in the sense of if something is going and working, let's support it, let's make it better, let's give that information more diffusion, because in the end of the day, I think that is where we're going to get the key this year with our team captains, having that coordination, that sustainability, kids can go and pick up plastics, the same as elderly people might be interested and can think of incentives.
Absolutely.
We need to rely more on their experience.
I think, you know, we all need to be thinking less of what's in it for me and more what can I give and what can I do, because I'm a real believer that those things come back. They come back and benefit you later, but they also benefit you at the time, because you feel good about what you're doing, you're more positive, you're connected to people, and that can only be good for you personally and professionally. And I've always said to charities, our marketing agency will publish anything on our blogs and social media that you want to send us. Yet so few people send us anything.
It's amazing.
You know, and you think, come on, you know, I've got platforms here that I can help you share. So even if that, for me, that if I can kind of go and there's a central point where everybody's sharing their information on the United Nationalities group, for example, and I can then share it out from there, then that's a great step forward as well. So yeah, absolutely. Share, like, give the love on social media, people. Even if you're not going, even if it's not your charity, just say, this looks good, and share it, because that is the real virtue of social media and what people really need.
Exactly. It might not be of interest to you, but it could be of interest to somebody else that will come up in conversation and you can pass it on. We're going to go now to the intervention of our charities for those in need at the event UNMS 2020, starting off with Cara J. Carradas, team captain for those who are vulnerable, with her food fairies, Adas Carradas.
Events, by awareness building, by social media follower gathering, any way that they can think of that they can really push that charity forward. And so with that in mind, we have Chris from the EIC, and we also have a representative as well of the MARBELLA International University Centre. I don't know where you are. Oh, hello over there. So there are representatives from the sort of universities and education sector. And we'll also be sharing the introductions from the charities along with the other schools along the coast to get as many people involved in this idea as possible. So without further ado, I'm going to invite the charities that are represented here to give a little elevator pitch, introduction to themselves, what they do, why they're great, what they need, and generally how we can all help them, because I think really that's what we want to do and why we're here today. So I'm going to introduce first up the lovely Cara Caradas from Hadas Caradas to introduce herself.
Thank you. I'm here today for Hadas Caradas, which most of you probably know as the food fair is. I've also been running the Costa Christmas collections for about the last 10 years. For this year, it's slightly different in that we're not going to be working with the orphanages that we usually work with. We've handed that over to somebody else. We're going to be working for children of COVID, so it's your everyday families. We're all going to know people who are going to need our support. The food fair is during COVID, obviously fed families that couldn't feed their children. This year we're going to be giving Christmas food packages to families in need, and along with the Costa Christmas collections we'll be giving a gift, making sure that every child this year wakes up with a gift, and obviously food to eat, okay? We have a Hollywood event at the Beach House in Alveria on the 28th of November. We are looking for everybody to purchase tickets. For everybody that purchases a ticket, they will be buying a food parcel for a family of 6 just by coming to the event. It's a fabulous event. You can dress up as a Hollywood character or come as red carpet attire. We are looking for businesses to give us anything that we can raffle or auction off in order to make as much money as possible, and also to bring along a gift for a child in need. We are also looking for anybody that knows, if you follow our page, which is Costa Christmas Collections, all of the drop points are there. We very luckily have EIC that have joined us, and they are going to be collecting in their school along with many others. But a lot of businesses have jumped on board, and they are now our drop points. So what we will be looking for is people to purchase a present, wrap it, label it with the sex and age intended, and we will be delivering that to our public, our community, and helping the families that need us at this hard time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cara. I'd like to hand over to Tom from Age Concern, please. And I'd like to say, please do think about what you could do for these charities as they're introducing themselves. We have on the table number 1, we have some sign-up sheets. So if you feel real passionate about any one of these charities, please head over and put your name on the list, and then they'll be able to contact you. Tom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Tom Burns. I am president of Age Concern, Marbella and San Pedro. Happily, I know some of you, many of you I don't yet have the pleasure of knowing. We set up Age Concern Marbella San Pedro about four and a half years ago, and we are frankly very, very successful, except in one area. We're very successful in that we have a large team of dedicated volunteers. We have some money. We have a drop-in centre. We're now about to develop Marbella. What we don't have, and we need more and more, is access to the people who need us. So we're relying on everybody to find the people next door, your relative, your friend, whoever it is, who may be slightly reticent about bringing themselves forward, that they are brought forward by you and on your behalf. For today, my ambition would be, and it has been, for a little while, my ambition would be that all of the great charities in this room all do incredible work. But I'm not quite sure what each of those charities does. And I think those charities are not aware of what we do. I would like today to propose that we get together a group of people from all of the charities and meet regularly and share best practice. And we don't do that, frankly. Okay, sorry. So the head of the charities in this room, if they could come to me today, just give me an email address and a name, I will try to set up, with the help of Nicole, that group to share best practice. Great to see you all. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. And that's a wonderful thing, and definitely something that I think Nicole had in mind when she brought you all together here, of how we can work together and how we can really do better together. So I'm going to hand over now to Susan Hannam from Kudeka.
Hello, everybody. Well, Kudeka, I think most people know that we are looking after people who are terminally ill. Today, we have over 500 patients we are looking after in their own homes. At the hospice in Benalmadena, there are 9 beds and they're all full. The COVID has affected us a lot because, for one thing, we have a budget of around about 4.5 million a year because we have to pay an awful lot of medical stuff. But with the lockdown and everything, we're going to finish this year in the red. But the good news is that the shops are all back working, and something very special is that we're opening in a new shop. The town hall in Mijas has let us use a shop in La Cala. So we'll be opening that probably middle of next month. So everybody can help, donations for not just clothes, we pick up furniture, all sorts of things. But we need all this help because we have 6 doctor and nurse teams out every day. There are psychologists, social workers, and the volunteers. And it is the community that supports Kudeka, and it always has been. Kudeka started, well, now nearly 30 years ago, thanks to the support of the community. So it's very, very special that that we all try and help, not just Kudeka, but everybody. And what Tom was saying, definitely, we'll be in on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll come over here. Wonderful, thank you. Can I introduce now the lovely Lily from AAA, please, to tell us about her cause. It's very difficult to remember the masks. I do appreciate everybody for going along with this in our new normal times.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. And I have to come closer. Okay. My name is Lily van Tongeren. I've been with AAA, biggest animal shelter in Marbella, for the last 12 or so years. I help with a lot of things, mainly creating events to raise money, because that is one of the most important things, of course, that we need, as we are generally having around 600 animals in the shelter year-round. And that costs a lot of money to keep them alive, to get them to a second home, if possible, or a new home, etc., etc. So we're trying to organize, and of course this year it has been very difficult with the COVID because we were not allowed to create any events or fundraising events at all. Luckily right now it's a little bit easier, like days like today. We can get together, which is nice to see people together again after all those months, instead of only dogs and cats, and get dressed up a little bit. So we do have a few little events coming up, but one of the events that I would like to share with you, which is something that everybody can partake of and doesn't cost any money, which would be nice, is an event that we've created so that 2 parties, in a way, can benefit. It's called Dine and Donate. This program will ask restaurants to put their name down in this plan. All the restaurants that are partaking in this plan will be listed on the website of AAA and mentioned on the Facebook regularly. All the people need to do is to go to any of those restaurants, mention AAA, and then the restaurant will donate a percentage of the bill to AAA. So it doesn't cost the people anything. The restaurants, we hope that new people will visit the restaurants as well. So instead of going to your regular restaurant, go to one of the ones. You discover new foods, new restaurants, new locations, and at the same time you're giving them a chance to be known, because all restaurants are having a difficult time now, and at the same time donate a little bit of money to AAA, because that is the major thing at the moment that people can do for us. Volunteers are not all that necessary at the moment. Dog walkers are not that necessary at the moment. Because of the COVID rules, it is very restricted. We're also not open to the public at this point. So the only way that people can help us, which is absolutely necessary, is either by donating money, becoming a member of AAA, becoming a friend of AAA, and at the moment visit any of the restaurants that we're trying to get on the list for Dine and Donate program. So please look at the website, choose any of the restaurants when you go out, mention AAA, and we will all be happy for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lily. Now I'd like to introduce Paul Carr from Collective Calling, please. With Gemma Carr, sorry.
Hi. Collective Calling, we operate internationally and locally. In Tanzania, we run a family reunification program for street children. So we've currently rescued 16 children from the street who were working towards getting them back into family. Now, locally, over the period of COVID, we distributed over 16 metric tons of food, which equated into over 25,000 meals provided to families across the coast. We're currently providing support to 120 families on a monthly basis. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we distribute food to families from Marbella all the way through to Estepona. We've been blessed actually by Aldi, who donates fresh food items to us every Tuesday and Thursday. So we visit 5 Aldis and they give us fresh food items. And the Bounce Back program. So we're early next year, we're going to be rolling out a family empowerment program, which will basically help families get back into work. So the program will help instill confidence into families. It will teach individuals CV skills, IT skills, and it will also provide work placements as well. So we'll be rolling that in March next year, starting in the San Pedro area. Yeah.
So we need help. Thank you. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. We need help with volunteers for our food distributions 3 times a week, any events. And we need volunteers also for an upcoming shop that we're looking at getting, that will obviously help. We're looking for funding for that as well, that will help us to actually create a long-term sustainability, because, as I say, we all know that we're struggling with events and raising that right now. So we're also doing a Christmas gift appeal for all of our families on our list as well. So we've got various drop-off points from La Sala to other places. Please contact us to let us know where to drop that off to. Wrap a gift for a child on our beneficiary list. And we are also looking for companies, actually, to be a part of the Bounce Back scheme. So we're looking for anyone that could possibly offer maybe a 2-week work experience placement for one of our families once they've completed our program, and that would just really help them get something onto their CV and get them potentially back into work and instill just their self-esteem a little bit higher. So, yeah, thank you very much.
A big thank you to all the charities who took part in the United Nationalities of Marbella event. We've just heard from Cara from the Food Fairies, also from Susan, one of the founders of Kudeka, our cancer hospice. What would we do without them? Also from Lily, AAA, with our wonderful dogs, Paul and Hema of Collective Calling, and Tom, the president of Age Concern. Didn't they do well?
They did so well. And they didn't go very far beyond their minute either. A few little ones, but not enough that I had to jump in, so that was good.
And it was interesting because there was a great representation of the different needs, whether it be from the animals to then the elderly who are vulnerable, to those who are hungry, who've lost their jobs, and particularly so now with COVID ever increasing the closings of different businesses. I mean, I think the vulnerability group is only going to get, you know, like more needy.
I'm
in the
afraid to
times
say
come.
that I think that's right as well. You know, there's going to be more need in the charity sector because the government is just not going to be able to do it all. And so, yeah, I think it's going to become more and more required. And I've even found that although I know all of these charities, I found myself surprised by a few things that each of them mentioned, thinking, oh, I think of you doing this, but I didn't realise you did that as well. And that's why it's so valuable for everybody to be talking and having that moment to stand up and obviously sharing it with your lovely viewers here as well.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for sharing the videos that you've just seen, because whether it be Collective Calling, the Food Fairies, Age Concern, AAA, Kudeka, Aspandum, Concordia, Knitted Knockers, I mean, it goes on. You've got the Alana and Estebona, the Animal Care Spain. In fact, whatever your heart prefers, there is something for everybody here to help with.
Absolutely. And I think that what was really nice about giving the charities the platform there was to say, first, schools, choose your charity, and we'll be contacting the schools and circulating those to them so that the parent body, teaching body and the students can find what their heart connects with. But also, hopefully, viewers out there, if you think, oh, wow, what a great cause, maybe I've got a few hours each week, or maybe I've got a skill that I can share, these charities really need you. So please do get in touch with us and we can put you in touch with the right people.
Thank you so much. She's so organised. We'll be back tomorrow with more of what went down at the United Nationalities of Marbella Summit 2020. Please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. We're always very, very open to hear from you. Better together.
We can change if we try. Just